my honor to serve my community as a firefighter for 40 years. I am the AFAC, the Association, the Aboriginal Firefighters Association of Canada president, and I've been asked by the board to be the project lead for the Indigenous Fire Marshal's Office. I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity. Now, we'll start by saying that AFAC has decided that we will not take any monies from current funding practices. There was a rumor started falsely or misunderstood, and actually today I was approached by two chiefs that had heard a rumor that the regional office had cut funding to the Ontario Firefighters organization. But we found that subsequently that's not true, and we would like we're investigating how something like that could happen, especially when we have the Minister of Indigenous Services coming to talk about reconciliation and support. So basically we know that the last statistics that on reserve death is 10 times the national average. Since 2007 or 10, they've stopped taking statistics. So we need to redo something different. Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing things exactly the same and expecting different results. I think in the fire service we've been doing that. The reality is that up until even today, the funding and support for the fire service is very different between the Indigenous Services regions, and each region determines how it gives the support. What we need is devolution. We should stop looking to government to make our solutions, and we need to start solving our own problems our way. How do we do that? Well, the fire service is more than just trucks, but we do need an appropriate service for our communities. Suppression is reactive. If the fire truck has to leave the fire hall, then we've already fallen behind. So fire prevention and education is proactive, and that's what's going to result in reduced fire deaths. The cities of Montreal, Winnipeg, Ottawa all have very good fire departments, but they have fire deaths because people's behavior is not changing. So what do we have to do? We have to use infrastructure and community planning to be integrated into the community safety. This includes community risks, community risk reduction, thinking outside the box sprinklers in the home, and we need to leverage emerging technology such as intelligent fire alerting, automated suppression systems, and less flammable building materials. There was talk of legislation, but in reality, we need to explain the rationale for building standards and hold building contractors accountable. There are more gains to be realized from quality programs and services such as fire prevention programs and community action. Let's explore what the IFMO has been doing about this. The federal government has funded AFAC to undertake the IFMO project. We are seeking to collaborate with other First Nations organizations, political groups, and non-First Nations organizations to support communities to build their capacity. AFAC has been around since 1991, and it's been working to represent the interest of associations nationally. More recently, the AFAC is acting as the IFMO project lead, which includes technical expertise, evaluation of current capacity, and the evaluation of proposed programs and services. To make a long story short, since 2016, we began having some momentum. In 2017, the AFN passed a resolution supporting the creation of the Indigenous Fire Marshal's Office, and it recommended that AFAC be the agency to continue it. In June 2018, the House of Commons Standing Committee released its report from the ASHES Reimaging Fire Safety and Emergency Management in Indigenous Communities. This also supports the creation of the Indigenous Fire Marshal. And from October to March, the project team has been hosting engagement sessions across the country where the results are being analyzed, and the results will be published soon. The key to our project is for us and by us. We are not alone. We draw on expertise from the working group, which helps guide the project by vetting services identified in the engagement sessions. Indigenous Services is supporting us with federal policy framework needed to provide authority and resources for the new service. The AFN supports the project with Indigenous leadership engagement, and most importantly, you, the national and regional Indigenous organizations and First Nations communities, are providing feedback and advice regarding the IFMO design and program and services. So we've held 8 engagement sessions in the following communities: Saskatoon, Calgary, Kamloops, Winnipeg, Thunder Bay, Toronto, Truro, and Wendake. So these are the findings that have been very clear. The communities want the Indigenous Fire Marshal to be the experts, to provide a single source for reliable technical expertise, to define standards and a clear path on how to achieve them, to be a hub for firefighters to network and train, to build capacities through career development activities. AFAC is not interested in creating a second bureaucracy. We want to develop capacity in the community. The communities want the Indigenous Fire Marshal to meet their local needs. There should be accountability and reporting to ensure that services being delivered are meeting the needs and making a difference. The reality is Kahnawake is an urban reserve. Compared to the northern communities, wildland fire is a very different issue. So we need to acknowledge that. The IFMO should be willing to redefine its role and services as risk change and new services are required. We heard about climate change. There should be enough resources in each region to be able to provide services in a timely manner. The services need to be appropriate to local needs, and they want the IFMO to advocate on behalf of communities. Work with chief and council to ensure there is an understanding of support, and provides expertise in the development of memorandums of understandings and fire service agreements that are fair and equitable. We're going to be holding 12 more engagements this year, and I'm asking for your help in making sure that your voice is heard. We need the decision makers, and we need to get away from the politics. The technical sessions, which are 4, are intended to establish First Nations support organizations with the fire knowledge, and we would include the Ontario Native Firefighters Society and Ontario First Nations Technical Services. And then the goal of the community engagement sessions is to confirm the findings from the technical sessions, and these community sessions should be attended by chiefs and the people in charge. Dates will be posted as soon as they are confirmed, and our team will be contacting communities directly to invite attendees and provide more information. The findings from all of the engagement will determine the design of our programs and services. I'm here today asking you for a future resolution from the Chiefs on Ontario declaring your support of the IFMO project, and we would appreciate any support to make a report at the annual general meeting in Fredericton. In terms of governance, we will be establishing an IFMO project steering team, and it will be comprised of the AFN, the Congress of Aboriginal Peoples, the Inuit Tapestariat, the Métis National Council, and the Native Women's Association of Canada. The committee will be an independent body and will steer and guide the IFMO project. The steering committee represents our people and community. The minister provides bureaucratic input, and AFAC is the technical lead. So this year, we're continuing our steps with the creation. We will run 12 engagement sessions to better understand what the communities want. The steering committee will be established. We will identify programs and services that the IFMO should offer, but most importantly, we want to act. There's been too many studies, there's been too many commissions. We are saying we want to put in items that are going to work immediately and start stopping the loss of life. ACE, we've once again determined that we will not accept any monies from current funding programs, and the IFMO project will not take monies from existing. It's a new funding program. At this point, I've shortened the presentation. If allowed, I would be willing to make a little bit longer presentation in June. That's up to the chiefs. I have a few minutes for questions if there's any. So once again, I'd like to, Mike 3. Mike 3.
Chief Jerry Duquette from Noquis. As a volunteer fireman at home, I just want to pay my respects to you and for waiting so long, and sometimes we're long-winded, so Chimiigwech for waiting and giving us this presentation. So that's all.
Yeah.
Miigwech, Charles, and of course, safety of our communities is important, and we know of all the fire dangers that all of our communities face. So thank you very much for being patient with us. So we want to conclude, start wrapping up. I'm going to ask Ontario Regional Chief to make her closing remarks.
Thank you, Daryl. And thank you, Chiefs, for those of you who are the ones who stay till the end. I'm very grateful for your commitment, for your time and your energy. I know that these meetings can be long and sometimes they can be contentious. And I really appreciate your patience with one another and the respect that you show to one another. I, since being elected, have had the basis of being respectful to others as something that I do as a leader, and to see that reflected in our assemblies is very, very heartening for me as a leader. We had a long 3 days. Our journey began when we started talking about restructuring, and our journey ended with an understanding of why we have to keep restructuring. We ended up with just the quorum, 28 chiefs making decisions on the final resolutions. This is not new. At the same time, it is really important for the majority of our chiefs to be a part of the decision-making process. And so that's something that those committee members who are on the restructuring committee can take note of, that's something we have to continue to improve on in terms of these assemblies and having our assemblies making decisions with the majority of the chiefs across Ontario. I do want to thank all of the people who have made this meeting possible. I want to thank all the chiefs and all the chiefs committees, all the technical committees, and I really want to make note of the volunteer aspect of some of our committees. These are all volunteer committees, and you give us your time and your energy, and that's in service of moving us all forward, advancing our agenda. So I'm very grateful for that. And I also want to acknowledge our staff. These are really long, hard days for our staff, and so I'd like you to give them a round of applause because they work really hard. I also want to thank the drum, the songs, the prayers, the Eagle staffs, the sacred items, the elders in the room, our young people, the people who have been watching us on the live stream. And I really want to say that there are a number of items we did not get to, and those items I'm going to ask that we post on our website as updates so that people can know what's going on with OI leasing, which I get questioned about regularly. And so we will endeavor to post the information that we have missed in this assembly. I want to thank the Creator for guiding us and being in our hearts and in our minds in the last 3 days. And Chiefs, I wish you an absolute good journey home, safe journey. And I just want to invite the elder up to do our, is it the, oh, sorry, I'm just going to turn it back over to chairs. I forgot I'm not the chair anymore. I'm actually the regional chief. So I just want to say thank you, everybody. Miigwech, ninanaskpo niawen, yauko, gasakitin. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Ontario Chief Archibald. Thank you very much for his closing remarks. And I just want to wish each and one of you a safe journey back. On behalf of your chairs here the last few days, we want to thank you for your indulgence. We're human beings, and sometimes you make mistakes, but at all times you want to be respectful to each and every one of us, one of you in the room. And so we want to practice that the best we can. And we're not here to offend anybody or to close anybody down, but certainly we have business that we need to deal with, and sometimes it needs to be done in a timely manner. So thank you very much for helping us out and getting us this far in the business. And to do our closing prayer, we have a portable mic over for Norma. Norma General Liquors, for the elder, is going to give us a closing prayer. So you can get the portable mic going. Hey, no, she got it.
Sego Guego, Dio Justice, say Lati Yungus, Got Niga Haga, Anawali Wagani Deloda. Bright Star is my name, Mohawk Nation, Turtle Clan. And I give thanks for the tobacco that was given to me. Gunjukwa, say Wada Yusia, Gina Galewi, Don Sida Wane Wilado, Ne Singwaya Diso, Ohuna Galewi Dekwa, Arawena Hitsta. We give thanks to the Creator who supplies everything that we need to survive. We give thanks for you, the people that have gathered here these past few days, where you've shared information and received new information that you can take back to help our people. We've now come to the part where all the words have been spoken. And if our words have hurt anyone, that was not our intention. And now, as we leave to travel in the 4 directions, we say, Onigiwahi, Gunalunkwa. Until we meet again, we care. Safe journey. Donito.
Miigwech, Elder Norma. Thank you very much for those kind words. Now we need to bring the Eagle staffs out, and we have a whole bunch of community flags. So here's what we're going to do. Because we don't have enough people in the room, we're going to let them stand, and we're going to acknowledge and respect them. But we're going to get our 2 Eagle staff carriers to stand over there, and then everyone who's left in the room, stand behind them. Ontario Regional Chief, stand behind them. And all of our leadership and guests who are in the room. Our host drum is going to do us a retreat song, and Eagle staffs are going to go around, and we're going to exit out that door, and that'll conclude this assembly. Behind Eagle staffs. Okay. Okay. Oh. You know, Jeff. No, that's okay. That's all right. So, Joel, we're going to get people to go over there and then come around. Yeah, the outside. You can, and then everybody can fall in behind right now, behind the Eagle staffs. Yep, go that way. Keep it going out. Go this way, Joel. Okay. All right, hold her up. Hold her up. We're going to get the drum to go here. Okay.